Welcome to my YouTube channel Vintage US Coins. Today we are going to take a very deep and detailed journey into one of the most historic and emotionally powerful coins ever produced by the United States Mint. The 1964 half dollar, famously known as the 1964 Kennedy half dollar. This coin is not just silver. It is not just 50 cents. It is a symbol of national grief, remembrance, honor, and unity. It represents a moment in American history when tragedy struck, and a nation responded by preserving the memory of a fallen leader in metal. This is the story of the 1964 Kennedy half dollar. 1. The historical moment that changed everything. On November 22, 1963, President John Fitzgerald Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. The news shocked not only America but the entire world. President Kennedy was young, charismatic, and seen as a symbol of hope for a new generation. His leadership during the Cuban Missile Crisis, his vision for space exploration, and his inspiring speeches had made him deeply admired. When he was killed, the nation entered a period of mourning. Television networks broadcast funeral coverage for days. Millions of Americans watched as his casket was carried through Washington. Almost immediately, discussions began about how to honor him permanently. Some suggested placing his portrait on Mount Rushmore. Others proposed renaming airports, schools, and buildings. But one idea quickly gained national support: placing President Kennedy on a United States coin. 2. Why the half dollar was chosen. At the time of Kennedy's death, the half dollar featured Benjamin Franklin. Franklin had appeared on the half dollar since 1948. The half dollar was chosen for several reasons. First, it was considered a significant denomination. It carried prestige. Second, it was not as commonly used as the $1 bill or smaller coins. This made it easier to redesign without disrupting everyday commerce too severely. Third, President Kennedy himself had admired Benjamin Franklin, and it was felt that Franklin would not be dishonored by replacement. Within weeks, Congress approved legislation authorizing the new design. The speed of this approval was extraordinary. Normally, coin redesigns take years. In this case, it happened in a matter of months. 3. The designers behind the coin. The obverse portrait of Kennedy was designed by Gilroy Roberts, who was the chief engraver of the United States Mint. Roberts based the portrait on a medal he had previously created featuring Kennedy. The design captured Kennedy's strong profile and youthful features. The reverse design was created by Frank Gasparro, who later became chief engraver. Gasparro adapted the presidential seal for the reverse of the coin. Together, these two engravers created one of the most iconic coin designs in American history. 4. Official release in 1964. The 1964 Kennedy half dollar was officially released in March 1964. Public reaction was overwhelming. Banks reported long lines of customers waiting to obtain the new coin. Many Americans wanted one as a keepsake. Some wanted entire rolls. People did not want to spend them. They wanted to save them. This led to massive hoarding. Even though millions of coins were produced, they disappeared from circulation quickly. 5. Composition and silver content. The 1964 Kennedy half dollar holds special importance because it was the only regular issue Kennedy half dollar struck in 90% silver for circulation. Here are the official specifications. Composition: 90% silver, 10% copper. Weight: 12.50 grams. Silver weight: approximately 0.3617 troy ounces. Diameter: 30.61 millimeters. Edge: rated. Shape: round. Because of its high silver content, the 1964 half dollar has intrinsic melt value. Its value rises and falls depending on silver prices. After 1964, rising silver costs forced the government to reduce silver content in coins. In 1965, the silver content was lowered to 40%. By 1971, Silver was removed completely from regular circulation half dollars. This makes 1964 the only year of 90% silver Kennedy halves intended for circulation. 6. Obverse design details. Let us now carefully examine the obverse. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy. Above the portrait appears the word Liberty. Below appears the date 1964. The motto "In God We Trust" is split on both sides of Kennedy's neck. Kennedy's hair is sharply detailed. His expression is calm and determined. The portrait conveys strength and dignity. Many collectors consider this one of the finest modern coin portraits in American history. 7. Reverse design details. The reverse features the presidential seal. At the center stands a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide. The eagle holds an olive branch in one talon. This symbolizes peace. In the other talons, the eagle holds arrows. These represent military strength and readiness. Above the eagle is a cluster of stars arranged in a circular pattern. These stars represent the states of the Union. Surrounding the design are the words, United States of America. Half dollar. The Latin phrase e pluribus unum appears above the eagle's head. It means, out of many, one. The reverse design symbolizes unity, strength, and national identity. 8. Mint marks and production. The 1964 Kennedy half dollar was produced at 2 mints. Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark. Denver Mint. D mint mark on the reverse. The mint mark is located on the reverse, to the left of the olive branch near the bottom of the coin. Both mints produced massive quantities. Philadelphia struck over 270 million coins. Denver struck over 150 million coins. In total, more than 430 million 1964 Kennedy half dollars were minted. Despite this high number, most were saved rather than circulated. 9. The special 1964 proof coin. In addition to regular circulation strikes, the United States Mint produced proof versions in 1964. Proof coins are specially struck using polished dies and planchets. They have mirror-like fields and sharp details. The 1964 proof Kennedy half dollar was produced in Philadelphia. It contains 90% silver like the regular issue. Proof coins were sold directly to collectors in special packaging. High-grade proof examples with deep cameo contrast are especially valuable today. 10. The accented hair variety. One of the most famous varieties of the 1964 proof half dollar is known as the accented hair variety. In early proof production, Kennedy's hair above the ear had more pronounced lines. Later in the year, the design was slightly modified to soften these lines. The early version became known as the accented hair variety. Collectors actively seek this variety. It often commands a premium over regular proofs. 11. Hoarding and silver shortage. The release of the 1964 Kennedy half dollar occurred during a period of rising silver prices. As silver value increased, people began hoarding silver coins. The 1964 Kennedy half dollar became both a memorial and an investment. By the mid-1960s, silver coins were disappearing from circulation. This silver shortage led Congress to pass the Coinage Act of 1965. This act removed silver from dimes and quarters and reduced silver in half dollars. Thus, the 1964 Kennedy half dollar became the last 90% silver half dollar for circulation in U.S. history. 12. Grading and conditions. Collectors evaluate 1964 Kennedy half dollars based on condition. Coins in circulated condition are common. Uncirculated coins are also widely available due to hoarding. However, high-grade coins with minimal contact marks are more desirable. Professional grading services use the mint state scale from MS-60 to MS-70. Coins graded MS-65 and above command premiums. Proof coins are graded separately, often receiving grades like PR69 or PR70. Deep cameo proof examples are especially prized. 13. Investment perspective. Because of its silver content, the 1964 Kennedy half dollar has intrinsic value. Even worn examples are worth more than face value due to silver. Collectors also value the coin for historical significance. High-grade examples and rare varieties may appreciate over time. However, its large mintage means it is not rare in most conditions. Its true value lies in its combination of silver content and emotional significance. 14. Cultural and emotional significance. The 1964 Kennedy half-dollar is more than a coin. It is a symbol of a generation. It reminds Americans of the early 1960s. It recalls speeches about freedom and space exploration. It represents a time of optimism followed by tragedy. For many families, owning a 1964 Kennedy half-dollar became a way to preserve a memory. Parents saved them for children. Grandparents placed them in safe boxes. It became a national keepsake. 15. The legacy of the 1964 issue. The Kennedy half-dollar series continues today. However, the 1964 issue remains the most iconic. It was the first. It was silver. It was released during a time of mourning. No later issue carries the same emotional weight. Even modern collectors who were not alive in 1964 feel the historical power of this coin. 16. Why collectors still love it. Collectors love the 1964 Kennedy half-dollar because it is 90% silver. It marks a major historical event. It is the first year of issue. It includes interesting varieties. It represents the end of circulating 90% silver half-dollars. It is affordable for beginners, yet meaningful for advanced collectors. 17. Final thoughts. When you hold a 1964 Kennedy half-dollar, you are holding more than 50 cents. You are holding 0.3617 ounces of silver. You are holding a tribute to a fallen president. You are holding a symbol of unity during national sorrow. You are holding a coin that changed American numismatic history forever. At Vintage U.S. Coins, we believe every coin tells a story. But some coins tell stories that shaped a nation. The 1964 Kennedy half-dollar is one of those coins. If you enjoyed this complete historical deep dive, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Vintage U.S. Coins. Tell us in the comments if you own a 1964 Kennedy half-dollar. Thank you for watching.